November 3, Yankee Uniform Golf. November 3, Yankee Uniform Golf.
Roger, Yankee Uniform Golf, and what's the name there?
Yeah, the name on this end is Jason. Juliet Alpha Sierra Oscar November.
All right, Jason, and where are you located, sir?
Yeah, I'm located here in the southern part of Maryland, about an hour and a half southeast of Washington, D.C., running an STDX-101D and recent purchase of the RE20 microphone. And I've been playing with the settings and hoping to get them into good shape, but not sure where we're sitting right now. Back to you there, Jim.
Roger. Well, first off on our generic setup is getting that compressor on at about a 3. It's a token amount, but it does precisely what we need it to do. So if you would check and get your compressor on at about a 3, Roger.
Yeah, Jim, I'll get that here in a second. But the other thing is this new rig has an AMC, an automatic mic. I forget what the Charlie stands for, but it's almost where it levels out the audio coming in, and then that's on also. But I'm going to switch the processor over here, and we'll give it, it's on a percentage here, so we're up at 30% on the processor right now. Over.
All right, just out of kicks, give me a dead key for about 5 seconds.
Back to you, Jim.
Yes, sir. Okay, everything's copacetic. We had no pump up, so we're well within tolerance there of where we are as far as the compressor. So I understand you have this ALC control that kind of navigates some of the mic level, and then you have a compressor which is on and at a 3. Roger?
Yeah, that's correct. The AMC is kind of like a limiting circuit on the audio coming into the rig before it gets processed to take out any distortion. And then the processor right now is on 30% mic gain with the AMC setting. The mic gain's sitting at about 50, 51 right now. N3YUG.
Okay, Jason, now I want you to go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and while you speak kind of quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, I want you to adjust your mic gain to where your ALC reading is a mid-scale to 2/3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are sitting right in between half and 3/4 scale.
Yes, sir. Now give me 10 seconds on your antenna system and let me hear you.
All right, Jim. Yeah, the antenna system here, we're running a double bazooka antenna on 40 meters up at about 50 feet, maybe 100 feet of coax in between the station here. And right now we're running, should be running 100 watt. No, sorry, we were power's back a little bit. So now we're up at 100 watts. And yeah, the meters are showing ALC at about 2/3, and compression is peaking up at maybe just a hair over the 5 on the compression. And unfortunately, if I change the AMC, that also changes all those readings, so it makes it a little more difficult. N3YUG, back to you.
Yeah, no need. Keep your AMC on, keep your ALC where it is, keep your mic gain where it is. Everything looks just perfect there. Now, do you know where your transmit EQ is?
Yeah, Jim, I got the parametric EQ on here. Load is set at 400 with a level of -9. With a level of -9. Width of 3, which is low. 1 is the widest, 10 is the narrowest. Mids are set at 900, level of 5, bandwidth of a wide bandwidth down at 1. Highs are set at 2400 hertz, peaked out at 10. 1 there for our bandwidth effect. Over.
Roger, I was just working on my Milford SDR. Okay, so Was that a 3-band EQ? I'm sorry, I was distracted just a moment. Is that a 3-band EQ?
Yeah, Jim, 3-band EQ, parameter. So it's got 400 hertz is where I'm centered on the lows, with a -9 level and a bandwidth of 3, which is fairly wide. Mids are at 900 with a level of 5. Bandwidth at the widest, which is a 1. Highs are 2400, level of 10, positive 10, and a bandwidth at the widest of 1.
All right, usually what I do on a 3-band EQ, I recommend being flat in the mid EQ position, because a 3-band EQ, the whole thing is to bring the top end in balance to the mid-range and the low range imbalance to the mid-range. So if you cut or boost the mid-range, it makes it so much harder for the top end to catch up or the bottom end to catch up. So I recommend flat on the mid-range EQ. Roger, start with a flat EQ on the mid-range. Roger?
Okay, Jim. This is the mid-range set at 900, and we took that down to 0, so that's flat. And so we're sitting flat now. This is N3YUG, located here in the southern part of Maryland. Over.
Roger. Now, what is the treble EQ? Do you have any more boost capabilities on your treble EQ, the top end?
No, Jim. I'm maxed out at a positive 10 on the level. And the frequency it's set at is 2400 hertz. Over.
Yes, sir, that's perfect. Now let's go to the bottom end. What's your bottom end setting?
I have that set at 400 hertz at a -9 for the level. And the bandwidth is almost as wide as I can go. One's widest, and it's setting it at 3 right now.
All right. You still have one more increment of bottom end roll capability, Roger?
Yeah, I can roll off one more increment.
Okay, I would go ahead and do that. And then listen to you. Also, after we've made these EQs, we need to go back to our LC to be sure our level is still mid-range to 2/3, because we have pretty much moved our our level around by shifting our EQs. Roger?
Yeah, QSL. Right now the ALC level is about 3/4 scale. A little over half the 3/4 scale, and the compression is bouncing at a lower level. We're coming up to about a 3 on average, and 5 at the highest peak there. Over.
Roger, I think that's fine. I would like to have had a better signal on you. I do have a 0 level signal, and noise is in there. I'd like to hear it, obviously, just a little bit cleaner, but from what I can tell, it really sounds good. I think what was happening was you were rolling that mid-range way down, and therefore you were killing the body of your voice, because the mid-range is the body. The top end and the bottom end are niceties that you need, but that mid-range is super critical. So by us bringing that up to 0 level, and then having everything else work together, I think it's a stronger signal and more natural sounding. Roger?
Yeah, okay, Jim. Yeah, we did turn the amp on. Maybe I didn't know if you had a decent signal on me or not, but we put the amp on, so we're giving a little more output here. And yeah, we took the mid there from a positive 5 level and backed it off to a 0 to flatten that out. So that was the adjustment on the mid. And figured we'll give you just a little more audio here with the amp on, and hopefully that'll clear anything up or any other advice on adjustments there. Over.
Roger, Roger. Now, Jason, you must always put your best foot forward. I don't care what the ARRL says. I think that you always need to put your best foot forward, Roger, and that is with the amp on. It just makes, just like in this instance right here, there was about 10 minutes of, well, I think he said this or whatever. Not that bad, but I can hear you a lot cleaner now. Let me just say that.
QSL, Jim. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's an ACOM, so it takes a little while to warm up. And I missed getting in last week, so I threw my call out, and you came back to me before the amp was ready. So that was one of the reasons we waited to turn it on. But hopefully things don't sound too much different, other than it's a lot easier on your ears there. Over.
Well, you know, I'm looking at your signal on a spectrum analyzer, and the spectrum analyzer is reading everything in the spectrum. And when you're not forefront with your power amp on, I'm reading noise in addition to your voice, and it does cum on a spectrum analyzer, Roger.
Hey, QSL, very good. And yeah, again, apologize for not kicking that on earlier and making everything a lot easier on you there.
Yeah, Roger, not a problem, not a problem. But I just suggest that, be all that you can be, and that helps usually all the way down the line. There's a lot of different philosophies on that, but that's just mine, is be all that you can be. Anyway, it really sounds good with the box on, Roger.
Hey, QSL Jim, I appreciate it. And yeah, I've been bouncing around lately with settings, that mid-range, adjusting it up around 13 and 1400 hertz. And I dropped it down to 8 and 9 yesterday, and kind of listening to myself on SDRs. But I wanted to get a little bit better opinion out there and see how things sounded. And I'll go back and I'll take a listen through an SDR on one of the nets tonight, record myself there, and see how things have turned out there. I appreciate the help, and I know you're getting ready to either shut down or at least maybe work another station. So I appreciate the help, Jim. 7-3, and have a great evening from N3YUG.
Roger, Jason. Yeah, and like I say, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to, along with today's date, KC9VKV, along with 1/15/21 date, will take you directly to this recording. And like I say, we have a spectrum analyzer on the set, and you can see your audio characteristics in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end, so you can actually see the progression of our setup. So we'll say 73 for now, Jason. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net for Friday afternoon, and we have time for about one more. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.